mic is live, the stage is set. Words like fire you won't forget. Every topic, every thread. Living stories in your head. Dive in deep, let's take control. This podcast is your soul's console. Turn it up, feel the beat ignite. Conversations flowing bright. In your ears, day or night. This is the sound that feels so right. Oh.
As always, everything we discuss is for entertainment and is speculation. Please like and subscribe, and definitely join our discussion in the comments. If you're ready, let's get into it. Oh, welcome back to Typically Unique, everybody. Hello, hello. I gotta fix my document reading little icon here. Let me see if I can fix this. And then I already have Dago backstage, so I'm going to bring him up, and let me fix these so we're not both little tiny dots up here. And let's see. All right, there we go. I hope everybody's having a great day. And we are going to talk about Cy today and two judges that have given him a hard time and tried to discredit his work and what they said about him and how he handled it and how it's relating to the Idaho 4 case, and lots of information about that to share. Let me bring Dago up. Hey, hello there.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late. I had to set up my camera again, and it's been a minute since I did live. So, yeah. Is all your snow melting where you're at? Yeah. Yes. Yesterday, I was in the house by myself, and I didn't realize we had so many massive icicles hanging off the side of our house. And you guys, it sounded like the roof was going to collapse.
Yeah, the
sounded
snow
like
sliding
someone was
off the roof. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go out and check, make sure that's what it was, because it was so loud.
Yeah. It sounds like the house is moving.
Yeah. I just want to say hello to everybody that's joined us so far in chat. I see some green with Ro. Hello, Ro. Meg's in the house. Hi, Meg. She was yelling at me that I ignore her. I don't ignore you, Meg.
She says that to us too. Okay.
Nomadic Duck Man. All right. That's a new one.
Hello, Meg.
Yeah, and then I think there's some watchers. Lots of watchers. Please hit that thumbs up for me.
Looks like we got some Blue Crew in the house too. I love it.
Yes, yeah. I love the support.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
You don't know this, but I have to do this before we start the show. And let me find it. So Friday is Carlos's birthday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I got to do a little shout out for him.
Absolutely.
Now I wanted, let me see. Here it is. I wanted to make a special birthday song for him, but I couldn't get the song to play with the video. So let me just.
If you'd have told me ahead of time, I'd have made one for you.
Next
100%.
time.
Next time, yes.
Yeah. No, I want
this.
He's
5. That's awesome.
Oh, wait a minute. He's 5. Yeah. No, I'm showing the wrong thing. Get off. Give me a minute, you guys. We'll give everybody a time to come in. Okay.
Make sure you guys are hitting that like button for Miss Kim when you come through that door.
Please. I know everybody's familiar with Cy, but I don't know. You can let me know in the chat. Are you familiar? And you're familiar with Judge Hippler. Are you familiar with Judge Villasenor?
Villasenor.
Do you know that one?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Oops.
I know of him. I don't know much about him. I just know that he's a judge.
Yeah. So I'm gonna build up to that case, and then okay. So let's show this. Is it showing? There it is. All right. So you guys might not know, but Carlos used to be a dirt track racer. And so he had a white car, number 19, and
Very
he was
cool.
actually the track champion one year. And it was a lot of fun when he did that. So
Yeah.
that's like his special thing. But here's your I hate that it always takes so long to do this stuff. I wish I could just go boom, boom, boom.
If it equals, I worked for Sharon Speedway as on the rescue squad.
Yeah, he used to race there.
I didn't you said dirt track, but yeah, I worked there.
Raceway 7 was our like home track.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I forget sometimes that we're in the same
same area. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to Carlos in the chat, you guys. It's cheesy, but it's what I could find last minute.
No. Awesome.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
All right.
Happy birthday, Carlos.
A little shout out to him.
Hope you have a great day or a great year, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
How old is he, if I can ask?
59. So next year will be the big one.
No shit. Wow. He looks good for that. I thought he was around my age, maybe it's a tinge younger, possibly.
Yeah. He graduated in 85. I graduated in 88. What year did you graduate?
92.
What is it?
92.
Oh, you're my sister's age. She's she's like 5 years younger than me.
You guys do not look your ages, I'll tell you that. You did something right.
Thank you. Hose water.
Salute to that one. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the funny joke. Yeah.
I swear to God, it's a fact though, guys. I mean, our generation lived off that stuff, you know?
Yep. Gen X doesn't age, I don't think. I think because I still act like I'm 25.
I think our mentality keeps our exterior a little bit. Now, I do feel 75 sometimes, my body does, but
yeah,
you know, the rest of me, you know, other than my grandpa looking face and all the beard and stuff, but you know, I feel like I'm mentally like I'm 30, if even maybe even younger, you know?
Yep. I like what Krista always says. She says she doesn't claim it.
Right.
That's funny. Okay, you guys. So I've been talking about these, you know, narratives. We did that a lot in the last live that I had. And so they've had this narrative about the car, about the white, you know, Hyundai Elantra, the white sedan, and it's Bryan Kohberger's, and they put that narrative out on mainstream media about the identification of the car. And, you know, it's, you know, even though they had that mishap with the 2011 to 2015, but they never stood down on that. They're like, this is it. This was the year, make and model. So there's that narrative. And then Carlos and I were going back and forth about the 23 pings, right? Whether that's true or not, how they know that. People say it all the time on mainstream, you know, he was in the area, and however many times they claim.
Well, I mean, yeah, but people have to go shopping and doctor's appointments and haircuts and all that stuff. So of course he was in the area. There's nothing in Pullman really, from my understanding. So everybody went to Moscow. That's where everything was. So
yeah, and a ping is not a GPS location. It's
No.
not a precise location. It's just using that tower, which probably spans at least a few miles.
It
Was my
definitely
understanding.
it's got, I can't remember the exact distance it was, but it's a definite distance away from the house. Like I've always said, you cannot stalk somebody going at 40 miles an hour. So
Yeah, I like that. I like that saying. Yep. And then the route of the car, they're like, here's and they're only using cameras, right? That we know of. That's what they're willing to say publicly is
Of
he's
course.
caught on this camera, he's caught on that camera. And I did clip a little segment of Lana did a really good episode about that timing being off by like a minute and something by that. And I think it's the Exxon gas station, right?
Yep.
Okay. Which also is where Ethan's car is. Ethan's apartment is.
Mhm.
Coincidentally.
Very close to. Yes, ma'am. Coincidentally.
So we're going to look at that car route a little bit, just a little segment of it. And then they put out that map, that wonderful, I showed Carlos. I'm like, I can make that.
Right. They're professionally drawn map. Yes.
Yeah. It just seemed like they just used Google Maps, but
I agree.
yeah. And then, when we discuss this on these channels, our challenge to that narrative so far has been, how many times did Ann Taylor request that discovery for the timing advance data and all the other stuff she needed to counteract and prove her point for her defense?
A lot.
Data. And I still am confused on whether she got it or not. Like, do you?
I'm not 100% either. I swear to God, I'm not.
Because I know she was still getting stuff like even after the plea deal, I think.
I don't think she got, I think 20. I'm probably wrong, but I swear to God, I remember there being a 25th request for discovery after the fact.
Yeah.
And I don't think she got 24 until the day after the plea.
Yeah.
Or the sentence, something like that. It was something along that lines. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So, yeah.
Yeah. We don't know those dates and times for sure, but it's approximate around like that. Yeah. So that's a big, red flag that they won't talk about. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the discovery requests on mainstream media. They don't include that in their narratives.
Right.
And then there's the big issue, and we're going to look at this with, the prosecution. They changed their story from we don't have it at all in one hearing, and then you can't get it within 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, and I think that's really something to dive into, because why did they have to add that? Like, if you say we don't have it at all, I mean, I guess maybe they were clarifying like the reason why we don't. I guess that would be it. The reason why we don't have it. But one of the things that we're going to look at is that being explained, and from Cy himself, what happened with that when he showed up at that hearing and didn't get to testify.
That would be interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Great topic today. And thank you so much for inviting me up here. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming up. I love that.
Anytime.
Okay. So Judge Villasenor, I'm going to show you guys a picture of him. He's a judge out of Colorado. And he was appointed. Let me see how this works. Yeah. He was appointed like a fill-in, right? Like there was a vacancy, and so he was brought in, and he had a case for the defendant was Christopher Russell Jones. And this is the case that involves Cy Ray And this is the case that he spoke about on his podcast with his wife.
Gotcha.
And we're going to listen to some clips about that. But I have the information about the actual case. So Christopher Russell Jones was engaged to a woman, and I could not find out her actual name, but in court records, they just called her SV. Okay. So their relationship ends badly, and she sought a civil protection order against him. Okay. So the court order was prohibiting him from contacting her or coming near her apartment. Now, he lived in a completely different city, about, I think, a half hour to 40 minutes away. And he drove a red truck. And they're split up. And then let's see, this says in late December 2021 and early January 2022, she calls the police and she says that he's stalking her, that she's been seeing this red pickup truck like driving around where she lives, and like in the area. Okay. And then she told the police she didn't feel safe. So then they took this, and I just couldn't believe this case went this far in the first place. He didn't have contact with her. She didn't really see him. It was just the truck.
Right.
All right. So in Colorado, stalking does not require physical contact or direct communication. Okay. So that's why. Okay. So repeated behavior would be enough. Okay. So that's what happened.
Sure.
So then the investigators are trying to corroborate her claims through surveillance footage. And this is where all the surveillance stuff came in with this case. Okay. When they were looking at it, and then this is where they hire Ray to come in, and he's going to talk about how a lot of times when prosecutors ask him to come in, they don't tell him about the case. They're like, we just want you to come in and testify to this, your work and this technology and all of that. So that's what happened in this case. He didn't know about the case, and he just went in and testified. But apparently by the end of it, this judge, when Ray went in to testify, he was like Hitler 2.0, except he was 1.0 because this was before Idaho.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So let me see if there's anything else in here that.
Yeah, I've heard his name, spoken somewhere. I can't remember where, but I've never looked into him.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's who this Christopher Russell Jones is in this case. And then Ray is called in to testify. And then he got lambasted, how do you say it, by this judge. And everybody keeps saying with the Idaho case, just wait until Ray can come out and speak. A lot of people think he's just waiting, he'll do something. He won't let it go of what happened in court with Hitler. And so this is a good example of what he might do.
Well, I mean, what Hitler said attacks his reputation, and with what he does, that's not a good thing. So it's some aspect. I have to imagine he's going to say something to, protect himself. I would. Yeah.
That's what we're going to look at. And let's see. RJ Anderson. Hello. He said, Ray got it. Last 11 pages, defense exhibits for motions in limine.
Mm-hmm.
What's your understanding of that comment?
There's Carlos.
Oh, hi, babe. I'm glad you saw it.
Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday this Friday. Hope you're having a good day. All right, so let's listen to this. Let me find it.
Absolutely.
Wait, I put it in here. I always say I wish people could see the behind the scenes here, what we have to do. That would be an interesting video to make.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
What backstage of StreamYard?
There's a lot.
looks like.
There's a lot to it.
This one. Make it big. Rewind. Okay. So this is not their whole episode, but if you're interested, you can find this whole episode. It's called Judge Goes Berserk. On the, oh my gosh, what's the actual name of their podcast? It's not the Ray podcast. It's Social Club podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. So big shout out to them. But this is him talking about what happened to him in court.
Impacted by my testimony. One in particular is a case out of Everett, Massachusetts. And I was handed an exhibit similar to what I showed earlier, a different case where somebody had misused the program. They created this exhibit and they were trying to say, see, he's there.
I want to clarify. When we say somebody misused the program, it's not that they went and pressed a button wrong. It's the best practices that they used from an investigative workflow that creates misuse of the program because it becomes very impartial in the way that the program is used.
Right. They take the output and they manipulate it somehow.
There's cherry picking of what they want to show from the output of the data. But that isn't just a tracks issue. That can be done in any mapping platform.
Absolutely. It is an.
All right. Right off the bat there, he's talking about the work done in this case with Christopher Russell Jones. Okay. So they did use this tracks, I guess,
Right.
but he's saying it's the way you use it. It's the user, right? And I think we've seen that with who spoke about it on the stand, Maury.
Yes.
Didn't save my work. Opened something up, wasn't sure what was in there, couldn't open it.
Right.
Only used Google Maps, which is what his wife is saying. Like you can do that with no matter what program you're using.
Mm-hmm.
So, and tell me to stop this at any time if you want to chime in.
Native issue. And if people go back and review that testimony that I did in Everett, it's very similar to Jones. The first time I'm seeing really any details about that case is when I'm on the stand testifying. The defense had handed me an exhibit very similar to this case. And when I looked at it on the stand, I actually testified, this is very problematic. If this makes it in front of a jury, nobody in the courtroom did their job. No, this can't be used. And the judge said, no, it's not going to be used.
And just for clarity, you were saying that because you were there solely to lay the foundation of tracks and how it works.
Correct.
Not the investigative pieces of the case.
That is correct. The scientific reliability of cell phone mapping and the mapping specifically that we created with our program. Page 24, we're going to get into the intent of testimony and how law enforcement uses these records. I talk about best practices, and this is really important. I actually testify in this hearing. At no point should somebody take just this static shot of mapping and say, see, here's all the evidence we need and run with it, which is exactly what's happening in the Jones case. So if people really wrap their head around the Christopher Jones case and you look at my testimony, it's actually really supportive for Christopher Jones.
How did the judge not start putting this together between your testimony and...
So what he just said there, that in a sense, you shouldn't just take the static mapping of this, so on and so forth. It makes you wonder, is this what they did in Idaho?
Right, because that's all we've seen.
That's 100% all we've seen. That's exact. I'm glad he said that because that's all we've seen. Knowing what we know about what they've done within the investigation, it tells me, I hate to say this, but it's got that's how I think they did this. I truly do. And he is going to be the one to say, wait a minute, no, you can't just do that. You have to be able to open this up. You need to unfold the situation a little bit more, get a little bit more into detail to prove the points that you need to prove. So that's a great statement right there.
Yeah, to me, it's like show the data that you use to get that map. Like
Thank
you're
you.
only showing like the final product. And he was saying you can cherry pick the information to make that product. And later on, now this isn't the whole episode. Like I said, it's like clips. So it
No,
jumps
no,
around from
this is great, Kim. This is great.
topic
And
to topic. And later on, he's going to show like that actual like other work product that you should be
right.
seeing. Yeah.
And it's a basic. I mean, it's basic, folks. Just like back when we were in school, in math class, show your work. That period. 2 + 2 = 4. Show that work. That's all you got to do, so that people understand how you got to this point and aspect of it. So yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's a
Right.
good.
No. Great. And that's what I'm like, that's got to come out next.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. And I think that's why they're dragging their feet on releasing it too.
Probably.
Hey, Wade Bird, good to see you. And hey, Bryan Kohberger 3D's in the house.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's the whole deal. 3D there.
Yeah. And and Leslie, hello. Good
Do I
to
need
see
to put
you
on my
too.
3D glasses to see him or what?
I don't know, but he dropped a heart.
There you go. There you go. Hey, Leslie.
Aunt Clara, hello. All right, let's go.
A terrible investigation.
We'll get to this. The point on page 24 when people read it is I explain what was happening in the Jones case shouldn't happen. I just didn't know it was happening because I also explain ways to corroborate the records, why that's important, and I get into detail about the mapping the tracks program provides. It's just a rough estimate. You can't just take that picture and run with it, which is what was happening. On page 28, something very interesting happens, and I've testified it's got to be 100 times at this point, if not more. On page 28, the judge starts to interact. And I've had judges ask me questions, and the transcripts won't do this quite the justice of what it is. He almost becomes adversarial. Like he's asking me questions directly that neither the prosecution or the defense asked me, and he kind of just takes over the hearing.
Okay.
Almost argumentative, like, well, you understand that's a problem, right? And I've never had.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Completely.
A judge took over the case and was arguing with the witness. That's even more crazy.
Imagine that.
Yeah, Hitler was arguing with the defense attorneys, but to actually argue with the witness,
which tells me that he obviously knew how to handle that situation. Was probably not surprised. So
yeah. Oh,
how did a judge do this? It was just weird, and I was like, ooh.
What was he arguing that there was a problem? He
didn't agree with our algorithm. He made it very, very clear. He thinks that our algorithm is complete bunk. It's trash. It should not be relied upon. And it just, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Because he's tested it?
No, in fact, later on, he'll go on and say that it's not the judge's job to do that. But that's exactly what he's doing. Circle back to accuracy. I say it could be tested. The judge agrees it could be tested.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have in this case?
GPS.
We have GPS data.
You can corroborate it.
We can corroborate it. Nobody did, which is painful for me to understand or watch as this played out because I didn't know about the case. Remember, I didn't know about the case. So I see this.
Are you saying you also didn't know about the GPS?
I didn't know about the GPS data until the day of the hearing. While I'm in the hearing, that's the first time I've ever heard about the GPS data.
So that's a question I have about this case. So it is the GPS that he's talking about, is that coming from the car? Like, do cars have like?
It would have to, I would think. Yeah.
So like when you have a car that has like that built-in like little built-in screen that like automatically pulls up maps.
The GPS data would be built into that. So they probably have to pull there's a name for it. I call it the computer, but there's a computer that's built into every vehicle.
Yeah.
That they would see. It's different now with the newer cars because they have that stuff. Before you would just pull the computer from the car to realize where the car drove and stuff, but this has like a chip built into it. I guess you could say they would pull the chip, run that, and that would give the information on it.
Right. I'm wondering if a 2015 Hyundai Elantra had that. I know people have looked it up. I've probably looked it up before and I don't remember.
I would imagine the EC. Yeah.
Okay.
ECU. That's
which is built into cars.
Most of it, yeah. Just like, it's like the black box in planes, MIGs, right? ECU, ECM. And within the newer vehicles, though, they have like basically like a motherboard
Mhm.
within the vehicle that has, chips built into it for
Right.
the GPS and all that other stuff that they have, all that new crap that they have in the new cars. So very interesting.
They
Very
took
interesting.
that also from 2 cars in the 1122 parking lot, right? Was it Maddie's and Ethan's?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Which is interesting. Like they didn't take all 4. So there's something that also
There's-
led them to I mean all that there has to be reports about that stuff. And
it makes you wonder why specifically, because Ethan, that Jeep didn't move. That Jeep was broke down. It hadn't moved. So it makes you wonder why the hell they're taking that one specifically. But, Maddie,
true.
that's another reason. But the Jeep, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Ruling comes out. I'm a terrible person. I'm a liar. I have no credibility in the court.
You don't have a degree
He can back it up because cast cases. So
that you were never involved in.
and I'm reading this ruling and I'm just thinking, this is such a load of crap. Like he literally misquotes me throughout. And
His wife makes a lot of hilarious comments in this because a part I'm not showing is the judge just roasted him about not having a degree. He has an associate's degree and that's it. He's done everything as just a self entrepreneur working in his field,
Sure, yeah.
and that doesn't mean because you don't have a degree that you should be discredited. But she keeps
No.
bringing it up like, oh, you don't have a degree. You don't have a degree.
He earned his
Again.
reputation the hard way. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to provide the ruling. I'm going to provide my transcripts. People can read it for themselves and see this. Don't trust me. Test me. Read it. But then I got pissed and I thought, hang on. I want the GPS data. Trax is testable. We have GPS data from the FedEx truck. What would happen if we took the GPS data and we overlaid it with all the Trax data and we actually tested the Jones case for accuracy? It's
Mhm.
easy to do. And what I mean by test for accuracy is I can take all the GPS locations. They have a time and date stamp. I can take all of the phone data that has those overlays and I can line up the ones that correlate to each other. So I can say, hey, at this date and time, we know that the phone connected to this tower. Here's what the overlay looks like. Here's a GPS hit from the same time period. Is it inside that shape or is it outside of that shape? And we can actually see how often is the GPS outside of the shape we're putting on the map. And it is 100% testable. There's an interesting issue that happens in this case, and I'm going to show a picture of it so people can understand here. It might be hard to see from where you're sitting, but I've got one of these overlays on the map. And then kind of right down in the bottom center, there's some red dots and there's some in a parking lot just outside of the shape. And then there's one like right on the line. And then there's some there. If I populate all the dots, there's a handful inside. That's the FedEx facility that Jones works at.
Okay.
So this is an interesting thing where he parks his truck at the facility. So we're getting the GPS of the truck in the parking lot,
Sure.
but the building, which I believe he's in, is inside this building that's inside of this shape. So
And it's just kind of outside the estimated coverage area.
right. And the only reason I want to show this slide before I say what I'm about to say is I'm going to give this case the benefit of the doubt. If I look at when his FedEx truck is parked at the facility and I assume, nope, he's in the parking lot for the hour and a half or 2 hours that he's at the facility, just sitting in his truck. So we're just outside that shape. We have a 92% accuracy rate throughout the entire records of the Jones case. If I use a little bit of common sense and I say, hey, he didn't drive all the way to the FedEx facility, just sit in his truck for 2 hours and then leave. He's probably in the building doing stuff with the FedEx packages that are in the building. It dramatically changes the accuracy to 97%,
Wow.
which is actually better than what I testified to.
Mhm.
Okay, so I like that he showed the red area that was the GPS, I believe. Or one or the other. So they overlaid the phone ping data, right? Which
Yeah.
was probably the big area, and then the GPS locations. And I think he said the GPS was how they knew the car was in the parking lot.
Yes. Yes.
So it's a more, and he's just saying you have to have both if you want to narrow down accuracy, right?
Right.
And then I know I've listened to his podcast with other episodes. There's other investigative work that you can do. He said common sense. Like with this case, it was common sense because you're probably not sitting in a parking lot for 2 hours. But even with this case, I bet he could Could he look at like the time clock, the guy clocking in and clocking out?
Sure. Yeah.
Evidence of work he produced while he's in the building during those times.
Absolutely.
There's many other ways to collect evidence of someone being in a location. Once you have the big area, you can start narrowing it down, and I'm dying to see that with Bryan Kohberger.
Yes. Agreed.
And it's possible. I mean that's why I love this, because it's explaining how that can be done.
Yes.
A few more minutes.
It's got to the point where I don't want to do this anymore. However, every defense team in the country jumps on this case, and it really pissed me off. So I thought, all right, screw it. I'm coming back. And I went on about an 18-month road trip of testifying throughout the United States. And I think this is really, really important because, again, don't trust me. Don't trust what I'm saying. Look at the facts. I'm going to put 2 slides, and I'm going to put these on the screen as well. These are scientific challenges of the TRACS program and me as the founder and the inventor in my methodologies before the Jones cases. There's 15 of them here. TRACS was upheld in every one of these cases. After the Jones case, here's all the rest that were upheld. And when I say all the rest, I want to make something really clear. These aren't cherry-picked. Every single case in the United States, whether it's state court or federal court, after the Jones case, TRACS has been found reliable. My testimony and my credibility has been found reliable. Not only has it been found reliable, there have been judges that have actually spoken out against Judge Villaseñor in their rulings. One in particular who stated, I don't know where he got what he got to make that ruling.
So what you're saying is that Judge Villaseñor was unreliable.
I don't want to say that because I do believe in court decorum.
I'll say it.
Yeah, but you can say it all you want.
That's why she cracks me up. She's like, I'll say it.
But here's the great thing. I don't have to say it. Don't trust me, folks. Get on Google, Colorado Judicial Performance Commission. Google it. In fact, just Google Colorado Judicial Performance, Judge Villa, V-I-L-L-A, Señor, S-E-N-O-R. Commission has been concerned that Judge Villaseñor inconsistently applies laws and rules, giving varying sentences and similar cases. He inconsistently applies laws and rules. You mean like contributing FBI cases to me?
That could be one.
Yeah, Judge Villaseñor's communications have been demeaning, biased, and disrespectful towards attorneys and litigants. Remember when I said when he started going off, like I just have never dealt with that. I've never had a judge take an adversarial approach during testimony like that. It was just really weird.
And then Hitler said, "Hold my beer."
It's important for people to say, like, yeah, I'm kind of bagging on the judge at this point, but I'm not the only one. There's history here, and I think you have to look at this whole thing in totality. There's no doubt he misquotes me. The transcript is there. The ruling is there. People can search that for themselves. He's quoting sources that are not qualified to make the opinions that they're making. And most of them are just legal arguments. They're not based in science. And I do believe in science.
Science, not
science. Thirdly, he is supporting his case by attributing these cases to me in the TRACS program that has nothing to do with me. It's FBI CAS team that he found cases on that had been thrown out of court for their methodologies. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting. Overwhelmingly throughout the country, the prosecution has agreed with me that that case is just a bad case. And you know what? I think it happens. Sometimes we get judges that make bad decisions. And in the course of making those bad decisions, they make it worse by citing things that aren't relevant and then misquoting testimony.
Well, they fail to look at the totality of all of the evidence, all of the investigative process, in addition to what they're trying to establish is reliable or not.
And I've had people ask like, hey, you know, that's going to come up when you testify next time. And I've kind of gotten to the point, let it. I like when it comes up because it's such a great example of, hey, my work stands for my work. I can defend it all day long. And in spite of this, if you actually look into some of these details, it's very easy for me to explain it.
And when he says next time, I believe the Idaho case was the next time.
Right.
It's definitely after this.
That makes sense. It makes sense for sure.
Other judges after Villaseñor have done, and they've done extensive research into that case and taken it into account with what your credibility is on the stand.
And if anybody is watching this and they're like, well, how does a judge like this get away with this? Like, what other things? He did recently have a murder case come back, which was a little bit disturbing because it's something that I really haven't seen before. They convict this guy for murder, goes through the appeals process. Both the defense and the prosecution agree it has to come back for another trial.
Why?
Because Judge Villaseñor screwed
This
up.
is crazy.
He screwed up so bad that the state actually recognized this judge screwed up. This
After
is a
the state
bad thing.
convicted
Wow.
this suspect for murder, the state said, no, reverse it. Let's go back and do it again. He shouldn't have said that to the jury.
We do not want to be attached to this judge's decisions.
Yes. I mean, that's strong. That's powerful. It's rare that we see defense and prosecution right out of the gate after a conviction being like, oh, we got to redo it. You screwed it up.
Oh my gosh. And this guy is still a judge.
He is still a judge. But if you're sitting at home, especially if you live in Larimer County,
Larimer County.
Larimer. I feel like if you're out in the county, you could be like, Larimer County.
Stop. Don't do that.
Okay. So anyway, if you live somewhere in the Fort Collins area, in that greater county area there is an election coming up. Judge Villaseñor is an elected position. He was appointed to the bench in 2018 in the absence of another judge. He was never voted in to start with. He was appointed because this other judge left.
He was a fill-in.
He was a fill-in. His first actual chance to be elected to that position, to the bench, is November of 2024. So to the great citizens of Colorado, well, specifically that district, let your voices be heard. There is an election. And you know what? Elections have consequences. And I hope people do a little bit of their own research with this as well. It's all out there. It's very public. There's nothing really for me to just don't take it on my word, like I've been saying. It's out there. And, I want to conclude.
So, spoiler alert, I believe he did get elected. I looked it up. And I think he's up for election again in 2027. Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't find that too hard to believe because honestly, how many people really research judges? Like your
Right.
common everyday voters,
Right.
I think, I don't know. Unless they have, which you would think this guy should have had a reputation,
Yes.
like a public reputation. But I'm going to let this video finish. I do have the actual document that Cy was talking about with the complaints against this judge.
Gotcha.
But they don't make them public. Everything's got to be secret.
Of course.
With takeaways. I think I could have probably done better in preparing the prosecutor, who was just completely unprepared. The prosecution was a mess on this case.
Right.
The other thing, and I actually enacted this rule, if you will, I will no longer get involved with a case, even a scientific challenge, without reviewing the actual investigation. And some agencies are like, no, we don't need you to review anything. We just want you to testify about your methodologies, your training. And keep in mind, people might not realize we've probably trained thousands
30,000 cops.
more. Yeah, that have come to conferences or come to our courses. We have, I think, over 100 subject matter experts now that we've trained and that are recognized as subject matter experts. So I have to testify a lot on the methodologies. We created best practices within this field that I have to defend on a regular basis. So a lot of times I'll get these phone calls. Can you just come in and testify to the foundation of this training and the processes? And I won't do it anymore. If I get involved in the case, I demand to see the investigation. And then I make the decision of whether I want to get involved and who I'm going to support. Because there are times like the Jones case that if I would have reviewed that case before I testified, I would have supported the defense. I actually would have come out and said, hey, I need to support Christopher Jones here because the state has it wrong. And I can show you why it's wrong. And we can fix this. So that's something.
And doesn't it seem like he did that in Bryan Kohberger's case?
Yes. I absolutely agree with that. Yes, ma'am.
And the reason I say that is because he said on the stand, like, hey, we're missing, not that it was so much data, but it was a critical portion of time of the data. And he made it perfectly clear. And to me, I think it's because he did know the investigation and he did understand the case that based on what this crucial time period is, it still could go either way. And I'm reserving the right to go either way. And I'm still, if that's what happened, if he did get his hands on something and saw like, this isn't supporting the defense, it's supporting the prosecution. I mean, we still don't know. We don't know that. I would think that would be one of the bombshells that they would want to let us know. Like we were saying the other night, yesterday on your show, like, show us so we can shut up.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Right. So it makes you think they don't have that.
I have to agree with you. Yes, ma'am.
Assuming you don't get a biased judge.
Right. But at the end of the day, I think it's important to note, even in that situation, yeah, I feel like I was kind of unduly categorized by the judge there. There are things I could have done better, and there's things that I'm doing better in the future. So, by the way, if you believe in Judge Villasenor's ruling and you're like, nope, this Cy-Ray guy, he's a schmuck.
Yeah.
Judge got it right. I've got news for you. The FBI CAS team's methodologies are screwed up as well. And I'll leave you with that.
What do you think about that?
Great point there, Mr. Cy. Gotta love that one.
Oh my goodness. So he just left with that, right?
That's the best way to shut it down.
Yep. I do want to, I'm going to look into that murder case that he was talking about where they got a conviction and then it obviously something the judge did. I think it had something to do with something he spoke in front of the jury.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm going to look into it and see if there's any other like nuggets that maybe compare to the Idaho case, but I'm going to do that for the future just to see if there's something there or not. All right, let's just look real quick at this guy's record.
I've been sitting here trying to pull up Thomas Hippler's reviews. I can't get to it.
Oh, well, let's look at this because Cy named the but his was for Colorado. This guy's Colorado, so you'd have to look it up for Idaho.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing is Idaho.
Oh, okay. Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
It won't give it to me.
If it's
which I'm not surprised either. I agree. They probably don't want to make some of this stuff super easy to find.
What is this doing? Oh, wait, okay. Here we go. Christopher. Oh, this. Okay, it's on here. I make myself links and then I forget how to find them.
I do it all the time. Don't do it all.
All right, his evaluation. This is what I want.
Yes.
So this is the Colorado Office of Judicial Performance Evaluation.
Yes, I looked that up first.
Oh, okay. So you use that exact wording for Idaho?
I tried that and it won't take me in anything, right?
Wow. I know it was hard to find stuff. Like I wanted to look at the actual like trial or hearing or wherever where Cy was on the stand with this judge. I couldn't find it. So
they probably took it down because it makes the judge look bad.
Right.
Craziness.
Here it is. So this is from 2020. And
that was the last one I could find too.
Yeah, it says in 2019, judge, is it showing up? Yeah. Okay. Where'd it go? 2019, Judge Villasenor was referred to the commission for an interim evaluation. And I believe that this can happen if people file complaints.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if anybody has filed complaints about Hippler.
I mean, that's a good point. That's what I'm looking for. If there has been, I'm looking for that too. Like,
because I believe the public can. Like the public, you can just
definitely, yes.
Send in letters and things like that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people on social media have already done that.
Right.
So Judge Villasenor, so he got put on a performance improvement plan.
Is that the same thing that they put Bryan Kohberger on supposedly at WSU?
Yes, it is. It
What I thought.
is. And it is blasphemy when it happens to Bryan.
But a judge can be put on that, and that's okay.
But he
Right.
just gets reelected and shove it under the rug and no big deal when it's the judge.
Right.
That was a good comparison. Good catch.
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't even thinking that way.
I try.
So this says, so he presides over criminal cases, civil cases, and domestic relation matters. He's intelligent and knowledgeable and is described by some as fair and unbiased, with potential to develop into a great judge. And then it says others found his communication demeaning. Ooh,
You
what does
think?
that sound like? Yeah.
Mr. Judge, Mr. Thomas Hippler Jr.?
Yep. Biased and disrespectful towards attorneys and litigants.
Absolutely, Judge Hippler.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to find some footage of it, but couldn't do that. They have been concerned that he inconsistently applied laws and rules, giving varying sentences to similar cases. So it could be the same kind of case, and does one thing one time and another thing another time.
So we have, in essence, in some aspect, a judge that is taking full what's the word I'm trying to think of here? They're taking advantage of abuse of power situations to some aspect.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
By the way, Judge Hippler's term supposedly ends as of January 4th of 2027. So he's been in office on the bench, not in office, I'm sorry, since 2013.
Does it sound like he's elected, right? Aren't all judges elected or appointed?
Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah, he was elected.
Does it sound like he's going to retire?
Well, 13 years.
Plus, he was probably a lawyer before that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it here.
I'd be curious.
He ran for re-election in the Idaho 4th Judicial and won May 17th of 22. So I don't know. I guess I wonder if it depends on his age and
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, he seems pretty older. so 5-year terms. Wow.
He's been in there 13 years at this point. I know he had a couple of health issues, years ago, but he seems okay now. But we'll see.
I don't know if there's anything more notable in here about this judge, but I do know, let's see if it says it here. I read it somewhere that like he met his expectations for this improvement plan and
was reelected.
Yeah, just carry on.
Well,
carry on.
That's something we know. We know that the judges, of course, have quite a bit of influence over the public. Okay. So I don't know. You take it how you will, I guess you could say.
Yep. All right. So that's that comparison with Hippler and how what happened with Cy-Ray. And in that case, Cy-Ray's that technology wasn't allowed in, and it was a good thing anyways because it actually proved the defense correct. So that case was just dismissed. They just dismissed that case.
Of course. So they put an article out on him. It's slightly interesting on Hippler himself. that says,
Do you want to put it up or
I
you don't
can.
have to?
Yeah,
You
I
can just
can.
read
I
it.
can if you want me to do that. I can read it for you as well. Hold on a minute here. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, I'm just gonna pull a couple excerpts out of it. It's not, everything else we pretty much know here, but it says down here for people that are asking these questions. I see a lot of people asking this. Okay, but it does throw in his statement that he made in the Kohberger case.
Mm.
It says here, last fall, Stephen Hippler entered his Boise courtroom for the first time after taking over the University of Idaho student homicide cases. Folded his black robed arms, which he did. I remember that. He does that whole thing like that. Introduced himself to the national audience he knew was following along, and he indicated that he did so with at least moderate displeasure. Hippler of the Idaho's 4th Judicial District welcomed the attorneys from each side and started into his stern message, a greeting that foreshadowed his personal stamp on how the public should expect to receive him. As we all know, I'd like to tell you I'm happy to be here, but why start with an untruth, Hippler? Deadpan. I am accepting of my responsibility to be here, which tells the whole world I don't want to be here, but here I am. The defendant, Kohberger, was charged. We all know that kind of stuff, guys. We know what it was all about there. So then underneath that, it says Hippler didn't try to soften his blunt, unvarnished style since he took over as its presiding judge. Hippler has had, several homicide cases during his nearly 12 years on the bench. And of course, this was put out right. This 13th year just happened. But Kohberger's represented first for the judge while he has overseen well over 100 jury trials. Hippler said in court that he never before handled, understand this is important, guys, never ever before handled a capital murder trial.
Wow.
That's kind of a problem in my opinion, but hey, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And no trial would come. Earlier this month, Kohberger 30 agreed to the plea deal. We all know that too. So moving on. To some legal experts, Hippler's actions in the months leading up to the trial left the defense with little wiggle room. The judge ruled late last month against a request from Kohberger's defense team to delay the long-awaited trial. Kohberger's attorneys posed arguments that his constitutional rights would be infringed upon after the case was moved excessively fast, which we've all seen that happen, which threatened their ability to effectively represent him, and it followed a string of losses for the defense. Days after Hippler's decision, the defense team pushed for the plea bargain. Edwina Elcox, a former county prosecutor turned criminal defense attorney in Boise, has experience arguing in front of Hippler, and she said that the judge's rulings amounted to a series of pretrial defeats that began to box in Kohberger's attorneys on possible defense at trial and likely led to frank conversations from his legal team to consider pleading guilty to remove the death penalty. So there in turn tells you, she believes, this is, another attorney, so on and so forth, that his rulings that he put out on all the things that were going on in the hearing, it basically, like we've all said, cornered the defense and cornered Kohberger into having to go into this plea deal because there was nothing he was allowing for them in this at all.
Yep.
And as
very
we
biased, it seemed very biased.
Very, very biased. He didn't want to be there. That's the first right there. Okay. And secondly, we watched him very rudely shut down the defense on a daily basis. Every time they were in a hearing, he shut them down. Whoever it was, it didn't matter. And he was never very fair in listening to what they were saying. He would interrupt their arguments and their motions and so on and so forth. So this, again, should have been seen as an issue, in my opinion, by the Department of Justice, as this man is an absolute biased judge and made statements we know many times that he shouldn't have. So, and including what he did with Cy Ray. Now, let me see real fast here. He's not entirely new to the death penalty, but court records showed that after more than 35 years in the legal profession, he has a limited experience with Idaho's ultimate punishment. So we have a prosecutor that doesn't like the death penalty, that doesn't stand by or believe in it, and a judge that has no experience with it, basically.
But yet, well, and I understand the defense attorney has to be well trained in that and experienced in that. And I would think the judge would be just as important to handle that case, to handle that. And just the way he set the whole tone right off the bat with that saying, I wish I didn't have to be here, or however he made that funky comment. I mean, you just set the tone. I'm annoyed, and I'm going to be annoyed and act annoyed the whole entire time.
Well, and he treated Bryan Kohberger. He treated Bryan like he treated him like he was guilty from the moment that it was so weird. Like he was putting on a show. In the moment that the ball was in Kipler's court where he could start to do more, Bryan was automatic. You're not allowed to wear, your dress clothes anymore. This is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. We're not going to let you speak on anything because we're not going to believe anything you say because you're a liar. Okay. All of that stuff. So it states to me, or it shows me that the man was absolutely biased from day one, if not beforehand. He probably followed the trial and in my mind believed that Bryan did this from the moment that he was arrested. I can't speak completely. That's my opinion, but that's how it presents itself to me. I'll say that. Well,
he never granted any of the motions that would have allowed us to, in the defense, to try to prove some of these points to defend him. What do you do with that? Then you're just stuck in a corner. And I think they did every single motion and thing they could, and you just run out of options.
Yes.
Besides going to trial, which I don't understand. I mean, that's when it comes down to personal decision, and we don't know any of that behind the scenes of why he took the plea deal. But that's why I did all those episodes on that, because it happens.
Yes, ma'am. It does.
What can you do?
That attorney Elcox called him a taskmaster on the bench, and said that he expects both sides to be totally prepared. She said, as we have seen, the attorneys should expect to be extensively questioned about the legal theories and arguments they're proffering. And they should expect to be challenged by Judge Hippler on the answers they give, which he did every time, making them look as though they're not doing their job correctly, especially on the defensive side, mostly on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think only on the defensive side, because there were quite a few scenarios where Jennings either made snarky comments or like accused the defense of,
he never said a word.
Of lying, or just let it go, which
is why most of the public saw him as working for the prosecution. You guys, we all know that. If I was even familiar with this case, had no idea who Bryan Kohberger was or whatever happened in Idaho, and I watched him preside over this, I'd have said the same things then, because it's absolute how he was acting about that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that information. That was interesting. I had a comment up earlier by Gen 7. What do we have here? A super sticker, you guys.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Carlos.
Oh, I see the problem.
There it is.
He's a Notre Dame fan. That's the problem right there. I get it.
Who's a Notre Dame fan?
Judge Hippler.
Oh. There's no picture on that one. Oh, well.
He needed to be an Alabama fan. He'd have been better off,
I guess. But Jen was talking about, if you're the defendant, okay, Bryan Kohberger, and you've got an expert like Cy Ray that he's going to be able to get into that data and figure it out one way or another. Would you be eager to have that person get into your phone data and look at all your data if you know you're guilty?
I mean,
Probably not.
probably not. Common sense, right?
Yeah, I just thought that was a good point by her. Yep.
Right.
Okay, so I have let me see, is that what I wanted next? Docket decoder. Is that channel okay to use usually?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Docket's a really good guy.
Just a couple clips. He made a video. He put a video together. I think it's been a while. It's like 3-5 months or something. But it's talking about this. So there were some very good points in there I want to show. Let me take down your thing.
Sounds good to me.
And I saw a lot of people coming in. Paco Jewel, hello. CAO Kane and Tomboy. Brooke, there she is. I hope you have a nice dark tan from your trip. I think she got to go where it was warm.
I haven't seen her in a long time. Good to hear.
Yeah, she was doing something fun. Greg McNeely, hello. Thanks for joining. All right. So, and if you're not familiar with Andrea Burkhart, she has a little clip in this video, and I love her analysis.
Oh, her whole take on the HIPAA situation was very interesting. We watched that more than once. So yeah.
What is this? That's not you. Wait, I don't know what that's doing. Okay. Yeah, and he's going to go through the whole car data information scenario. That's not, oh my God. All right. I got to do one more step before I can get this open. Okay. Hang on. Don't play yet. Yeah, there's Andrea. All right. Present. Share.
You know what's funny about her statements or her breakdown on this?
Uh-huh.
At some point, she was speechless, Kim. She stopped and couldn't even come to a conclusion as to what she wanted to actually say. She just kind of froze and went,
what do you say? Yeah.
And that's odd for her, but it was hilarious. It told me a lot. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Here we go.
Mr. Ray's conspiracy theory. Well, the battle lines have been drawn there, haven't they? Because what Mr. Ray did is basically dared the court to look at what's there, to take an interest in it, to be concerned about it. And the court said, nah, not going to do that. Now I understand exactly why. I do. The 7-day issue, it's a problem. And I know I saw a lot of people in the chat. I think I might have even starred one. Yeah, I did. I starred one. The 7 days doesn't apply to Nick Balance calling AT&T directly. We don't have a record to tell us whether it does or not. We don't know because it hasn't been submitted in court. That's how we need a record to be able to establish that. All we needed to do was have it in Cy Ray's affidavit, if that's the case, that judge, the 7 days doesn't apply. That's all they needed to do. But they didn't do that. And that's why Judge is pointing out that silence is really telling. And I can't disagree with him. It is a problem. And judging by how Ann Taylor was handling that in those questions, it kind of does sound like they're conceding. She's like, this is new information to me. Well, you could have argued that, pointed out that the reason why we are suspicious of this information that we're being provided by the state and by the state's agents is because it keeps changing. Nobody said way back when this first came up, there was a 7-day time limit. In fact, the first explanation that was given was you couldn't get any of this until 2023. When defendants change their stories, witnesses change their stories, they call that consciousness of guilt. And they point out, oh, it goes to credibility, and you can't trust anything they say, and trying to hide something. When the state changes their story, I guess we're supposed to just overlook that.
Welcome to Docket Decoder. If you enjoy our content, please help us out by hitting that like button or leaving your comment.
Okay, yes, please make sure you check out Docket Decoder. If anybody could drop that link in the chat. He has amazing videos. And I want to thank Leslie for the gifted memberships. And I cannot, usually in chat, it shows who got them, right? Christine Hurd, did you receive one of those? But if you received one of those, can you tell?
I don't see. Hold on 1 minute here.
But anyways, if you turned green, welcome to our little crew over here. And make sure you thank Leslie. Appreciate that. Thank you. Who else?
It usually shows up on the YouTube side. So
yeah, I know. I don't have that pulled open. I'll have to do that when I play this in a minute. I'll do that. Someone made a comment that typically Unique was in Gray Hughes's chat over on his channel. And I have to tell you, I was over there. I don't chat. I don't ever write anything in his things. But I did go over there. Nobody was live on YouTube and he was. So I was like, let me go see what he's covering or talking about. And I think I fell asleep to it. And then I woke up and I had been gifted a membership.
Oh, joy.
So that's funny. But honestly, you guys, Carlos and I have discussions with two perspectives of things. And
right.
It's good to know what the other side is saying. I don't even think he was talking about Kohberger anymore, though. I honestly don't even remember what he was talking about. But yeah.
It looks like Meg received one of the memberships.
Oh, yay, Meg. Good.
I don't see the other one, though.
Okay, so Andrea's talking about the 7 days, right? And that in Cy Ray's affidavit, he didn't address it. And to Hippler, that was the deal breaker, right? He's like, Nope, that's the point. You didn't address it. So I don't even want to hear it. You're just accusing people of things. Well, I love this video. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. I think Docket Decoder did a good job explaining that.
Very much so on that video. If it's what I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is old, so some of you probably saw it, but I did not, and I liked the point.
I think I ran it once, too, because it does make a huge point to that statement.
What do I have? 25, 27. There we go. Okay, Cy Ray again. So this is Cy Ray, not his actual, on his podcast channel, he has some videos where they just do question and answer. And this is starting with that.
Life really quick. So one challenge that does come up with timing data is the retention period. How long the phone company keeps these records changes dramatically. So With regular phone records, which is cell tower information, I can usually go back a year. So let's say a crime is committed January 1st. I don't figure out who the suspect is until August 1st. I can still go back and get the phone records from January 1st. With timing data, depending on the carrier, that data may be purged. So it's really important to look at when did they figure out who the suspect was? And by the time they figured them out, they had probable cause to get the records. Were the records still being maintained by the phone company, or had they already purged?
When we look back at the hearing, you can see that Ann Taylor was trying to explain this to Judge Hippler, who had no interest in hearing her out.
We have had different bits of information.
For the 7 days that are after December, in December?
No, Your Honor, because the 7 days is something that's newer and has been brought to my attention
Our
more
motion is
recently.
compelled related to timing advance records for November 13.
Our discovery requests were for all of Mr. Kohberger's timing advance records. Our motions to compel covered all of them too. I have this carrier request now that says 7 days, and I have the affidavit now that says 7 days. Those are not things that I always knew when we were litigating this issue.
The state had indicated and provided AT&T sworn testimony that they only keep them for 7 days. And yet he makes the accusations that he did in his affidavit without addressing that 7 day issue at all.
Because it didn't matter.
Judge
That's
Hippler
why.
obviously didn't realize that sworn affidavit provided by the state had not been provided in time for Cy Ray to get that information before he wrote his affidavit.
Did you say something?
I'm sorry. It's hard for me not to talk over that. I said because it didn't matter, but my apologies.
No. I want us to react to it. Yeah. Which part didn't matter? What were you saying?
7 days doesn't matter. It didn't matter, but
Right.
Docket's right. It was written. Cy's affidavit was written before that was a thing. So, it didn't. But it just didn't matter in the end. And Hippler should know that as a judge that it doesn't matter. They had a witness. Okay, Mr. Jackson is all they had to do was allow Mr. Jackson to speak on this. That was the end of it. But he knew what was going to happen if he allowed that, and he completely shut it down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, don't have it, or only, don't have it because it's outside the 7 days. Either way, you don't have it. But that's all of that is over here, and the defense is trying to make a point that there was still another way to get it.
He completely ignored that fact. Right.
Yeah. Yep. This picture of him on the screen is, oh my gosh.
When you look at the full picture, not just the order of the filings, but the dates, the signatures, the docket flood, it becomes clear Cy Ray was right. His affidavit was a direct and well-founded response to the state's original motion. He wasn't dodging new information. He wasn't ignoring the so-called 7-day policy. He simply hadn't been made aware of it in the state's filings at that point. The state didn't include it in their original motion, and their reply wasn't filed until the day before Ray signed his affidavit, in Arizona, no less. But none of that mattered when it came time for the court to weigh the defense's position. Ann Taylor tried to clarify. She tried to explain the timing. She tried to point out that Ray had not seen the March 24th reply. She was repeatedly cut off, shut down, and brushed aside. The judge asked a question, then refused to listen to her answers. And most telling of all, Cy Ray made himself available to testify at the hearing. He was ready to speak directly to the court, to clarify any confusion, to defend the integrity of his work. And Judge Stephen Hippler refused to hear from him. That wasn't just a missed opportunity. That was a failure of the court to do what it's supposed to do, to seek justice through a fair process. Instead, the judge let his emotions and his clear discomfort from the seriousness of Ray's allegations override his responsibility to remain impartial. He painted the affidavit as reckless, speculative, even disbarment worthy, but he never allowed one person who could clear it up to speak. And in doing that, he denied justice, not just to the defense, not just to Bryan Kohberger, but to everyone involved in this case, including the families of the victims and the public desperate for answers. Because when a court won't hear the full story, especially from someone who spent his entire career helping law enforcement put away the guilty, then justice isn't being served, it's being managed. And that should concern every one of us.
When Ms. Jennings was talking about the defense's motion is just replete with these misrepresentations, where was the outrage about that? Wasn't that the type of accusation that we said we weren't supposed to be doing? But it's not a problem. It's not a problem if the defense, if the state gets up there and impugns the defense counsel's litigation of their issues.
Mm-hmm.
You can get up there and say they're misrepresenting things, and that's okay. No, they're advocating. You can say they're wrong about certain things. They're mistaken. But you're up there calling them liars to make their point, and where's the outrage? That's only for Mr. Ray. That's only for Mr. Ray. I really would like to see some of the same energy being shared. Doesn't seem like that should be, a real egregious expectation. Is that hard to treat both parties the same? If you're going to get all upset about him doing it, shouldn't you at least tell her, Ms. Jennings, I just told you guys not to do that kind of thing? No, it's just, completely gone by unpassed, no comment on it. And guess what? Because of that, she's going to continue to do it. It's a habit that she has. She likes to call the defense liars just as much, if not more, than they have called her one. So just maybe pay attention to that, Judge. Just maybe pay attention to it.
And I have something backstage for you as well.
Let me find this thing. Here you go. All right. Again, Docket Decoder, you guys go on over there, like and subscribe to that channel. And what did you pull up here?
So this just shows something. Lucy was pointing it out in chat as well. It shows the timing advance records from AT&T. Like she says here, hold on, let me find her statement again. State trial exhibit list, AT&T timing advance from Madison Mogens and going back to June 23rd of 22. Ta-da.
Right. Like, how is all of that going to? Yeah. Okay. And so since this is from Lucy, and I'm going to continue this car, Ray data, everything into another show, hopefully later this week. And I do have, Lucy has an amazing video about this also, but it's an hour long and I want to make sure I have the time to go through it all. So that's going to be too long for today, but Miss Lucy Morningstar, you deserves this.
Beep, 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 beep. It's time for Lucy Morningstar's crash course on the facts.
I love it. I love it. I always did. And that video you're talking about is amazing. Yes.
I had to make that for her. Okay. So yeah, let's look at this. Can you?
I'm going to try to blow it up bigger.
Okay.
There it is right there, guys. Lines 3 and 4. AT&T records. Madison Mogen, AT&T records. Xana Kernodle from 8/1 of 22 to 11/16 of 22. Isn't that amazing? Jeez. Wow. There it is, guys. So in turn, if you can
read that one more time. Can you read that one more time?
Yes. I'm sorry. AT&T records for Madison Mogen for August 1st of 22 to November 16th of 22. And then again, AT&T records for Xana Kernodle for August 1st of 22 to November 16th of 22.
Oh, which is outside of 7 days.
Uh-huh.
Oh. And that
very much out of 7 days.
Now this is an evidence list. Is that what this is?
This is the hold on a minute. It's the exhibit.
Okay. Yeah. Exhibits of exhibit. Oh, wow. Okay. Exhibit list. There you have it, you guys.
Lines 1 and 2, she says, back up, hold on, one more statement. Produce the original warrant for Xana and Maddie's phones. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
I love her. I love her. I love her. Additional to the fact, the state produced the AT&T Timing Advance going back to June 23rd of 22. The state knew way back in February, late February, of 23 that they were never going to produce Bryan's based on the fact that they never, where'd you go, Lucy? Produced the original warrant for Xana Kernodle and Maddie Mogan's phones. Beep, beep. Lines 1 and 2. Yes, I got you. I love the beep, beep stuff. It kills me. State's trial exhibit list is what it's called, she said.
Produce the original warrant for XK and MM phones. Okay.
That was in part to what she was stating in the beginning, which makes perfect sense. So
wait, they did produce it or they need to?
She says, here, hold on a minute.
She has produced with a D at the end. So they produced the original warrant for XK.
Because they never produced. She says, it says back in late February 23rd, they were never going to produce Bryan's based on the fact that they never produced the original warrant for Xana and Maddie.
Well, and why would they not do that? Because they didn't use the GLDC.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They went the other way.
Yeah. And again, it wouldn't even have mattered. Again, like I said, they had Boyd Jackson there ready to testify to this point. Okay. Or they had him. Cy was there on whatchamacallit, that Zoom thing or whatever, but they knew they had a name. They had Boyd Jackson. They could have gotten him to do this, but he just never allowed any of it. She also says they never produced the first AT&T warrants for Xana and Maddie is what she's saying.
Gotcha. Now, so what the prosecution did, so this is how they played their game. Do you care if I take that down and put something else up?
Oh, no, of course not. I'm sorry. I should have pulled it down already. Anyway.
Well, if there's something else in there, we'll put it back up. But here's what the prosecution did. Can I change? I think I can change. Let me see. They had the Gordon guy from GLDC.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, down here. Is that showing up? Nope.
Good to see you, Greg.
There it is. Okay. So they had the guy from GLDC in their make an affidavit saying just the basic, we don't provide those. We don't provide those docs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where it went. I can't. There it is. Okay. So here's their, this is state's reply to the objection to the state's motion in limine regarding AT&T Timing Advance record. So you can read all the back and forth between them about it. And they thought, okay, well, we'll have our expert testify under oath, under perjury, penalties of perjury, Stephen Gordon, that we don't produce those outside of the 7 days. So they're just refusing to look beyond that. But I do understand when Carlos and I talked about this, why didn't Cy Ray include this same type of document in his affidavit with that Jackson guy? Because they wouldn't do that.
Wait, say that one more time.
Here's the prosecution saying, here's our affidavit from AT&T from the GLDC,
right,
proving our point. We needed to see something from the defense's side from Boyd Jackson, if that could have been included in Cy Ray's. And I don't know if he tried and they said no because it's the FBI and we can't give that up.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Yeah. Is it that top secret? Like we can't let people know that we do that? Is it illegal? I don't think it's illegal.
I don't think it is either, especially if you're subpoenaed to court for it.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to look into that. I never thought of that like that before.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments about that.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's the conundrum. And I think that's why the judge was just like, I'm validated in just going with this because
Mhm.
they have the documentation. And unfortunately, if the FBI was doing some other way,
Right.
no, they put him in a bad situation.
Sure as hell made Hitler look like an idiot. I'll say that much.
Mhm.
Right, because you're not allowing. You completely just washed over a situation that was right in front of your face. Then you
Yep.
attack the man that put it in front of your face by calling him a conspiracy theorist when you didn't even allow him to explain why he stated what he did. That's wrong. Very wrong for a judge to do, in my opinion.
He should have been allowed to speak and explain himself.
At least, at the
Yes.
very least, yes.
Okay, so I am going to the last thing I want to show is why we're having all this issues. Well, one not this is one of the things that's causing all this conversation about Cy Ray and his tools and his testimony because it's the location of the car, right? And seeing all these videos of the car that aren't matching up what they are saying their data shows about the car. The videos we're seeing don't match the times. And when I say that, especially to Carlos, he's like, he wants to see it. Why are you saying that? Right? Why are we saying that? So
Right.
Lana did a whole like 3 or 4 hour live about it. I just took out a little clip, but here's one of the big issues. Where'd I put it? Oh no, I just saved it in the folder. Here it is. Okay. All right, with Hector, the star Hector.
Yes. I may end up with Juan, Hector's cousin, if I get a printer.
I know. I was gonna get one, and then I thought I had my old one from school, which was horrible. But I thought, oh, I'll just use it.
You know what's funny is somebody was giving those away. They were giving them away at an auction out here at one of the schools they closed down before they were building a new school, and I just passed.
Oh,
There was like 30 of them. I just passed by it like it was no big deal. I never even thought about it at that point.
I can't find my clip. Hold on.
They were-
What is this doing?
They were the old ones too. That they were probably in that school
Oh,
when I was in school.
yeah, the one I had was very basic. Like, it looks like she has a lot of fancy fun. Actually, I found the one she has.
How much do they run?
I really love it. That one is the high end because I think you can do stuff on the screen with it too. But you can get them cheap. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how cheap, but
Well, I'm working towards getting a printer now and filing things, and I kind of like how Lana does what she does, so I'm going to be probably falling in sync with her on that too, if I can one of these days.
Now I use the app Cami.
Gotcha.
That you can write on digital documents. It's not that great to use, but it's free.
Right. Free is good. Free is the best.
All right, so let's see. Here's an issue with what the prosecution is claiming with the car.
Here's
Right.
95. When you're coming through the intersection, here's where that gas station is. Okay. And so it's got its camera and it's looking at you like that. The gas station's here. And so it's catching the vehicles that would come through that intersection of 95. This is Main Street, is also another word for 95, Main Street. And if you're coming through here, then where Ridge Road is right here. Okay. And so if this car is coming through at 3:29 and 29 seconds, okay, the car that you have going through at 3:29 and 2 seconds, this car right here cannot be this car. And right here, there's an apartment complex, isn't there?
You can't hear me. I said, you guys, they're saying that the bottom circle, okay, they're saying that the car's coming from the top. The car's coming from the top of the page.
Right.
At 3:29. And then continues on to 3. Wait, I got to look at the bigger blow up. So, okay, at the top of the page, the car is seen on video at 3:29:29. And then it continues on and is seen at 3:29:02.
Right.
That is impossible.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
And so you could say, well, the times are off on the cameras. They are off on the cameras, and I believe it's the first one at the top. She's going to explain that's the minute and something one. So it's even further apart. So can they be the same car? Could that car do that?
I don't believe so. We already know that there's issues with quite a few things with this car anyway.
And then we know Ethan lives over here, so she's drawing the apartment buildings.
Just like there's one that's right here. And then right here is because that's where the 1125 camera is actually sitting to catch this shit. Okay. So isn't it true, Special Agent Hill, that here's your camera that you're using at 1311. Okay. And the Indian Hills road comes down, wraps around, comes down, and then it's like to come through, which is like Steiner. This is where it's Steiner on this side of the road. And then when it crosses over, it becomes Lauder. Okay. Now, I noticed how you like to do things. You like to use Google Maps to determine how long it would take you to get from point A to point B. You go and type up the address and it says, hey, that's 2.1 miles away and it's a 2-minute drive, right? Okay. So over here, when you were putting down your Indian Hills bullshit, did you realize that literally a house that's right next to another house, the car that you have is traveling from like literally one address to the next address that's like right next to each other. 25 seconds it's taking a car to get from and travel, just probably like maybe half the length of a football field. I'll even give you, let's even say that it was 2 lengths of a football field, 200 yards. How long do you think it takes if you're driving 30 miles an hour to travel 200 yards? Do you think it takes you 25 seconds? No. Okay, let's say, what if you drive 500 yards? Do you think it would take you 25 seconds? No. It would take you what? A couple? Going 30 miles an hour? Yeah. You didn't think that it was strange that this car that you want to have from Indian Hills be this car that's going to then travel through this intersection, be then this car here, right? Well, how about this? Let me just ask you this. Why would it matter? Why didn't you just, when you found this car here at 3:29 and 2 seconds, why aren't you just starting with where this car is? Isn't it true that it's because this car, when you're seeing it at 3:29 and 2 seconds, It's coming from this apartment complex right here. Damn, Lana. Because we know, goddamn, it ain't this car. Because there is no car. There is no car coming through this intersection. It would have to be coming through, in order for this car to be a car that came through this intersection, you'd have to come through this intersection at least 3:28 and 30 seconds, right? Because it's going to take you 30 seconds to get from where we're talking about here to get over here. There's no way that you can go through an intersection at 3:29 and 29 seconds here, okay? And then when you get to this intersection, that time then began to subtract. You know that, right?
You traveled back in time.
Right. Makes you wonder if Michael J. Fox was driving that car.
Right.
They've done so many dumb things in this case that they think that people aren't going to catch. Like, just because we're on YouTube doesn't mean we're stupid people, folks. Okay. And I think that's what bothers them, Kim. Because we catch a lot of their stupidity and their dumb things that they've thrown out there to us, and their lies, and their, in some aspects, we're smarter than they are, and it's kind of pathetic. So
yeah, they definitely don't give any respect to anyone on social media. There's a lot of excellent people that do news reporting and knowledgeable content about things, and no respect.
Well, they don't realize that we're a lot of us have been professional people as well.
Yeah.
We have police officers, we have retired police officers, we have EMS workers and firefighters and doctors and nurses and therapists and all sorts of things watching this and being involved in this. And you're going to call, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
No
Yep.
problem.
We are educated people. We are people with real life experiences and knowledgeable about different areas, and we have the ability to question things and discuss them. And I don't think we do I don't think we're disparaging anybody or trashing anything. And I told you, I think we are pushing some nerves. We are
definitely.
Yeah. Yep. I think their backs are up
hard
against
too.
the wall.
Yes.
Let me take a second and do this. That was for Jen 7. Thank you so much for that $4.99 there. She says, thank you for the videos today, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And I didn't do Leslie. Leslie gave 4 memberships today. I appreciate it. Right. So thank you, you guys.
Awesome.
I gotta make a different kind of one. Give me some suggestions of what you guys
I need something like that instead of the damn train thing. That's ridiculous.
What is it?
I just have a train horn that's connected to my StreamYard. I was like,
oh yeah. I love that. You need a train video. Maybe I'll make you one. Or you're probably better at it than me.
I need something better though. That's just, they deserve more than that. Come on.
Oh, someone was questioning about Lana with the Tara. Yeah, that whole rant that she went off on. It's because, Lana's not over there making stuff up. She has the data. She has the documents. She knows the process. I mean, I cannot imagine the amount of time that she's just sorting, because I have all kinds of ideas of what I want to do. Like, I would love to get all this car footage and I want to pour over it. And it is very time consuming. And
She puts the work in for real.
So knowledgeable. And then she can turn around and work through it so that we can understand it. That's what I love and appreciate. So just seeing her draw that, here's the road and here's the gas station. And I need that visual to see. to see what's going on. Because it's one thing to make a video and say, this doesn't make sense, and that car isn't where they say that it is. You're just
but to go back and show what it actually is supposed to be, how it was done, all that shows you're putting the work in. Yes.
Yeah, and not just speculating a random comment, but like, here's what they're saying where the car is, and then here's using basically their own information that they're providing to us to show that yeah, probably not.
Exactly. She does. Yeah, 9 out of 10 times, guys, if you're watching something Lana has put out, she has absolute receipts and facts to back everything she says. There's been occasions she's been wrong about things, and when she is, she calls it out for what it is and tells it, that's wrong. It is what it is. Very rare. Very rare.
Hi, crime and chaos. Hello. So the big issue to me is, so we have that video now of where Bryan is coming out of his complex. And speaking of that, I read a batch of documents yesterday. It was Moscow Police Department documents 121 to 130. And in there, they talk about that accident that happened in his, I believe it was right in that area of his complex. And that's the one where the girl, like, she lost her car keys, but then her car was involved in an accident. And she didn't even remember being in the accident. Like that whole situation was kind of weird. Strange.
Very weird.
Not that anybody has connected it, but that incident is in the docs. It is in the documents. And him coming up to that intersection, that's the whole question. And to me, that's why we need that data, because
agreed.
They're saying he turned his phone off. But I think Ann Taylor was saying, no, he turned the other direction and there's a dead zone out there.
Right.
And she says 7 minutes. Can you get to that dead zone in 7 minutes? And then now your phone's not connecting anywhere.
Right.
And that's where that GPS data would come in, because if his car's not, or if his phone's not pinging to anything, then you would need the GPS data.
Yes.
And then the prosecution comes back with, well, the car could, and when Ashley Jennings said, well, the car could turn around. Why is she admitting that he went that way? Because to me, if you're not, if you're not admitting that he went towards the park, you wouldn't say, well, he could turn around. You would say he didn't go that way.
Yes. Right. Lucy says yes. So, I mean,
Yes, that they're admitting he went towards the park.
And that's how I took it. Could be.
Because then if he went left towards the park and turned around like Jennings says, then he would be on that camera twice.
That's right.
Yes, he went towards the park.
And there it is.
See, okay, so for my next live, which I'm going to try to do Thursday, we're going to look at Lucy's video, because I love her videos, but I want to do it live so that I want to stop every time she puts a document up, and I want to actually read it and see what it says and what is she showing us. So we're doing that next time on here. And then I'm going to get that, what's it called? Nevada Way, that footage.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Oh, come on.
Stadium in Nevada Way, where he's coming out of his complex, and we'll look and let me write that down. Proving he went left. Is it left? No, right? Right towards the park?
Right towards the park, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, you got to check out Lucy's videos. They're all amazing. Everything she puts out, she puts time into it and thought and knowledge, and they're all very good.
I keep bothering her. What's the word? I keep asking, bugging her to come up here and talk.
Good luck. Good luck.
We love you, Lucy.
We've all asked her to talk, and she just nope.
I did see it's Robert. That's True Crime Unleashed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to say hi to him. I did see you. I'm sorry I didn't say anything earlier. Boricua. I like that.
I do too. Boricua.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up here with me today. This was awesome. I love having your backup and your knowledge that you can share with me. I'm always like, did I hear that right? Is that the right, thing?
No, I appreciate you having me up here very much so. I always enjoy working with you.
Are you doing a show today?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Give me a little while here. I'll be live.
All right.
But yeah, guys, please go check out Lucy Morningstar, her videos and all that kind of stuff. She does great stuff, guys. She really does. And it'll definitely give you some more insight into some of the things we talk about.
Yep. Lucy Morningstar's channel, Docket Decoder's channel, Lana Truth and Transparency's channel. Who else did I show? The social
Andrea Burkhart.
Andrea Burkhart. And the social light.
Oh, social crime club.
Yes, with
Cy Ray. That's Cy Ray's channel for his podcast, the Social Crime Club. And there's a lot of good stuff on there too, you guys. In relation to different cases and different things that he talks and explains about. So you got to go check him out as well. He does a great job. Of course, we all know because we all follow him. So there's Miss Krista.
Yeah, I think Lucy's putting a bunch more information in here about the cars and that it can't be him if he went the other direction. Right.
Not to mention the clip-on fog lights that pisses me off to no end. Yes.
Right.
Because there's no fog lights. That's a whole other situation too. But this car, I mean, these are the things that guys, if it's not the car, guess what? It's not the man.
The only place you can see that the car doesn't have fog lights is at that Nevada Stadium Way footage, correct?
Well,
because I tried to slow it down at the 4:00 time in the neighborhood and I just couldn't tell.
Also the next day, the whole okay, V, good to see you, dear. When you see him at was it Costco, I think, and they showed the video of his car. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
In the parking lot, there's no fog lights there. That's his car. That's Bryan. Where's the fog lights?
Okay. Now, I don't know if there's some car experts out there that based on when he's coming around from King onto Queen at that 4:00 time, can you tell based on the lights if there's fog lights? I don't know that. I wonder if there's someone out there talking about that.
I don't know either.
I'm gonna look for it. And then you also can't see if there's a front license plate or not. So, I mean, what are they using to say it's his car?
Nothing. And she said that Jay Logston touched on it too. I mean, guys, it's an issue. If it's not the man's car, it's not the man. That's a huge problem.
So they're just using path of travel from his apartment towards the house and where they're catching him on video is what they're showing us that they have been using to track his car. Now, when the Nevada Stadium Way video came out and everybody's like, there's no fog lights on that car, then what I heard from the Gilter side is, well, they're not using any footage before 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now if you're waiting till 3 o'clock, you're not even seeing the car come from his home. So the car could be coming from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else's home. It could be someone else, because now you're not tracking it back to his house at 2:47. You're starting at 3 o'clock in the middle of some area between Moscow and Pullman, or in Moscow itself.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the, what's happening as we are looking at this footage and seeing what they really did.
And like she said there, again, when Ann said they put a blue line as if he was heading toward Moscow to make a false narrative, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over it, guys. Every bit of this, everything we've talked about in this case, at some point has become false.
And then because we're able to say, okay, so you're saying the car was here at this time on this camera.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've gotten some of those cameras and we're looking at it and saying either the time's off of some of them,
or it's not the right car.
Can't make out the car, not the car. Yeah.
Right. There's
Those
too many
issues.
problems with it for it to be just accepted. I'm sorry. There's too many problems with too many things.
And so I'll end this with the narrative. So the narrative started with he left his apartment at 2:47, or he's first caught on camera at 2:47 leaving his apartment. And like Lucy just said in the chat,
It changed to 254.
once the horrible true crime sleuths on social media start going through everything, or the defense finally got their hands on the information,
Mm-hmm.
then, oh no, it's 254.
They adjust
no.
the story
Mm.
every time. They've adjusted the story, the narrative. Let me clarify. They have adjusted the narrative. I don't even know how many times now, you guys, to fit everything we call out. Every time. Us horrible people that are reading through this case to try to get truth. And we point something out and they go, oh, no, actually, it was this. It wasn't actually 247. It was 254. Well, you can't keep doing that. Sorry. You just can't.
Yep.
And yes, I agree with Meg. I hate this case. Absolutely hate this case, Kim. I hate this case so bad. I hate it. God, I hate it. But I can't turn away from it. I'm sorry.
No, it just keeps giving and giving and
Yes.
giving.
Yes, the case that keeps on giving and giving. You ain't lying.
Yeah. And I'm still not done with, I did a lot of episodes on the DNA and I'm still not done with that, but I just had to I had to take a little
telling
break
you.
from it.
Right. I'm
And,
telling you. We could cover this case for the next 5 years and probably almost never have to backtrack on anything and do it, as cover it more than once, because there's so many things little things within the bigger things, within the smaller things, if that makes any sense to you, that we would be able to break down every time. So
yeah.
I have some stuff I'm probably going to be talking about today. We were going through last night. I think you were in there for a little bit, and about all of that kind of stuff with when Brian's apartment the warrant was served and things like this and all that. And it's like, what are you guys doing?
That's going to be interesting. Are you going to talk about that time, the time and the date and everything? That is going to be great. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to break all that down because, we were going through yesterday just talking, and Tomboy was like, what the hell is this, and this?
Yes.
And how? You're right. Good point. So we have a few things we're going to be looking at. Yeah.
Yep. I was there when she was talking about that. I was like, wow. Yeah. I don't know.
I looked right past that and I was like, what? Wait, what? You know what I mean? I said, well, I know what we're talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, that's going to be great. In document 130, that my video that I posted last night, it's the last document in that video. There was something in there. I'm like, there are things that I have never heard before with this case. So apparently they even got a tip. They got a tip that there was a stabbing at a casino. I never heard that one before.
I hadn't either.
Apparently the person drove a white car and they had a knife with a sheath on their seat of their car.
Isn't that interesting?
Like,
Kim?
you can't make this stuff up.
Nope. I don't care how hard you try. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to. This is insane. It's insane. And once again, let me rephrase this again. I hate this case. It's nuts. It is insane. Day after day after day, there's always something new.
We're going to hate it and we're going to talk about it anyways.
Because we hate ourselves. That's what we're doing to ourselves. It's wild.
Oh,
Very
I
wild.
like the investigating part of it, the mystery part of it, of
Yeah,
like
me too.
looking at the evidence and trying to make it make sense and trying to verify things. So
That's why I like doing, like today, guys, we're going to be doing what I like to call a live dive, because we go live and we start diving into these things and pointing these things out. It's a lot. I hate to say this like this, but it's kind of fun to me. I enjoy that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's very interesting at the very least. And the things you pull out of these things sometimes, it's just wow. So
Yep. I'll be
Very-
over there to talk about that with you.
and whatever else we end up wrapped up in, we always end up, even if we're done with that point of the conversation, there's still more that we get into, guys. So be ready
Yes.
for it. I hope you guys are. And Kim, thank you again.
Definitely.
Always an honor to join you up here. I appreciate that. There's so very much you having me here and wanting me here. That means a lot. So thank you. again.
Absolutely. Yep. Thanks for coming up. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Have a great day, and I will see you over on your show.
You too. Great show, great content, talking topics. Very much so. I very much enjoyed myself. So thank you again. And I'll see you very soon.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, you guys. Real Reality with Krista Marie. I see you in there. Hello. What does your comment say? For the first time, I heard they were trying to connect BK with Dana Smithers. Oh, yeah, that's Dana Smithers was in Pennsylvania, I believe, but I don't think that ever went anywhere. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate all of you. We got 4 new members today. Welcome. I usually do 1 live a week, but I'm going to come back on here Thursday. And I was saving Lucy's video for last because I know she's got the evidence to show what we're trying to figure out with Sci-Ray's technology, the way that the evidence was not allowed and what they're showing in the documents and all of that with the AT&T Timing Advanced data and all of that. So join me back here Thursday at noon. I will see you back here for that. Have a wonderful day, and please meet me over at Dago's, and I'll see you there in a few minutes. And have a great day. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. That could be unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, 2 minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes. call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now.